This video will contain a spoiler for 4th installment of John Wick. So if you don't want to know about that, then skip this video. When I was watching John Wick 4, I was very intrigued by Marcus, how he negotiates. When Tracker goes to deal with him, he does make a deal, but Tracker is asking for too much money. While giving him that, he takes a knife and puts it into his hand. Tells him that if he removes this knife from his hand the right way, that will show the loyalty to the high table. He doesn't let him win the negotiation. He always comes on top. In another scene, while dealing with Winston, he says that if John Wick gets killed, Winston will also have to die. He doesn't even let Winston win the proposal. He always shows the power. But now what interesting is, Marquis shows his power just by making weird deals. This made me think about Winston, how he always has power. He doesn't have to borrow it from high table like Marquis. To understand this, we have to go back to his origin. Winston has very few scenes in the first movie, but they are really powerful. John Wick visits him and asks for help. Winston says, "What are you doing here? Once you got out, you don't have to come back." John Wick says that he's just visiting. But Winston told him that if he comes back, if he puts a little pinky into this, then something will reach out and grab him. And that's what exactly happened in second movie. Sant'Antonio came and claimed his marker. Winston always knows what will be the repercussion of the action. And that's how he makes deals. That's how he treats people. That's how he negotiates. Winston does like the rules. But John Wick is a friend. That's why he helps him. Also he knows that if he goes against John Wick, then John Wick might come after him. In second movie, John Wick doesn't want to honor the marker, so he goes to Winston. Winston told him that two rules are really important, that there won't be any killing on continental ground and a marker should be honored. There are rules and without them, we live like an animal. These two rules are really important while developing Winston's character. If we consider a marker in the movie, John Wick has completed the task for Sant'Antonio. Winston himself goes to him and tells him to mark that marker. If Winston himself wouldn't have gone to him, then John would have killed Sant'Antonio and there would be a bounty on him. Because there is a rule that you can't kill the owner of marker. While talking to Sant'Antonio, Winston is very patient. He just plays with his words, gives him respect. He always tells his opponent that there will be repercussions of his action. How he is not a direct threat to him, but in reality, he is going against him, but without letting him know, being very polite and calm. The similar pattern can be noticed in the third movie when he is going against the high table. He is sitting in his vault, drinking whiskey and enjoying himself. When the adjudicator is calling him, he is not picking up the phone because it's not the time to negotiate yet. He knows that he will have to negotiate, but he takes his time being calm. In fourth installment too, he negotiates with Marquis. He knows the rules and how to play with them. He proposes that there will be one-to-one combat between John and Marquis. Marquis being himself, he tells Winston, if John Wick dies, you will have to die too. Winston has added something else in the contract. If John Wick wins, then Winston will also get reconstructed Continental. He will get all his power. Winston's power comes from being in a business for more than 40 years. We don't know what he did before running the Continental. John Wick's universe is always a mystery. Maybe Winston was an assassin like John Wick. He served high table long enough and as a gift, they offered him the power over Continental. As we know, the owner of Continental keep on changing if they do something wrong. So maybe that's how he got the Continental. Continental for Winston is like a retirement plan. He has dealt with enough violence. Let's not be mistaken. He has the power over New York. Leveraging this power, he has negotiated with adjudicator. She told him that he can't keep this up. He can't protect the Continental. The high table will keep coming after him. Winston says that they can take the Continental, but they can't take New York City. He has the power over New York. This power is demonstrated in the last scene of John Wick. He gives John Wick an hour to escape. On his signal, all the people around him stop. He can occupy a place in New York City in middle of a day with all his people. He can pretty much do anything in New York. Maybe this is the reason that Bowery King has to work underground. Because Winston has too much power over New York. Winston always knows what his opponents want to hear. When John Wick comes after him, he knows that John Wick loves his wife. She is the reason he's doing everything, just to keep her memory alive. Winston knows that John Wick wants to be a loving husband. That's why he gave him two options. If John Wick kills Winston, he will be remembered as Baba Yaga. If he doesn't, then he will be remembered as a man who loved his wife. And John Wick chooses the former. This is exactly what John Wick wanted. He wanted his grave to read as a loving husband. Winston was able to analyze John Wick thoroughly. While negotiating with adjudicator, she asked him what we will do about John Wick. He knows that John Wick has to die, but he doesn't really kill him. He shoots him in the suit, not on the face, giving John Wick a slim chance to live. In the fourth installment, Winston knows that he is going to die. He can't negotiate with Marky. That's the reason he doesn't say anything. At the end of the movie, he does come on the top. He knows that Marky has a big ego. He will accept 1-to-1 challenge. If Marky dies, Winston can get Continental rebuilt with the money of High Table. This way he has secured his retirement plan again. At the end of the series, he does come on top. He has the Continental. He has kept his power. He is the one who had made plans for John Wick. If he wants to get out of all this, he has to die. Seeing the ambiguous ending of John Wick, we know that John Wick is not dead. Winston staged his death and gave him another chance at life. He gave John Wick what he wanted. I really love this character. Winston would have made a really great daddy, and that's how we end this video.